Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings, and today I'm fighting and struggling because I've got a son directly above me whose keyboard makes a noise that comes right through the floorboards, and just next door a house is being completely renovated, so I apologise now for the sound of hammer drills and God knows what else. But today at least we have a good cup of tea and what else? And a new pen to review. Isn't she beautiful? What's this you're saying to yourself? A book, The Last Berserker. Well, it's there because it helps me to set up my camera square on my desk, and also because I've got to read this. It's by a friend of mine, Angus Donald, and his publisher sent me a copy. A pre-release copy, no less, advanced reading copy, an ARC, so that I can review it. So I'm going to review that. I've got to do that in a hurry. I've got to read it next week. Anyway, and now we can go back to the main theme of the day, which is this absolutely delightful little pen. Now, I do like the Conway Stewart system. They send you this nice little box. Here we go. There's the rest of the box. And the lid turns upside down and becomes a pen stand, which is really, really neat. It's always good when you're reviewing something not to forget and leave your notes lying on your desk instead of here where they're needed. So, we have this gorgeous pen. I'm going to hold it up to the lights. Every now and again you get these interesting little occasions when something goes slightly wrong, such as just now when I discovered that my memory card in this camera was completely full, and so I've got to start again. Right, never mind. Here we have a delightful Duro. It is the Garnet Red Duro and a limited edition. There's a little bit of a story around it, so let's tell the story. As you all know, I had to fly off to New Zealand late last year to see my brother who was dying. I did have a series of videos lined up, and I was going to be receiving various Conway Stewart pens and others in order to make videos. This was a limited edition that was created around Christmas because they thought the colour was ideal for Christmas. When I returned from New Zealand, I said, I'm back. If you want to send some pens, I'd be delighted to have a play with them. And Conway Stewart said, that's fine, we will. But they couldn't, because every time they manufactured one of these to send to me, someone out there in the real world decided to buy it. So my first glance at one of these Duros was last week, which is considerably past Christmas, as you'll know. They've sold half their stock, I think, which means there's another 35 of these which are ready to be sold. So, what can we say about this fabulous little pen? First of all, it is a really rather glorious acrylic. You can see the shimmering there as I turn it, and in the cap. And when you're writing, that shimmering moves all the time. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As a pen itself, it is black top and bottom. It has gold rings. You can tell they are genuine gold because this one here, you can see the assay marks on the ring. Beautifully stamped or laser cut, I'm not sure which. It has a standard Conway Stewart really strong clip. It will not fall off your shirt. It won't damage your clothing when you put it on either, because it has this nice big round ball. Now, this is not my favourite clip. The reason being that it is punched through the acrylic at the top here, and then two wings of metal are folded over. I believe they're folded over in a large insert inside there, but I'm not sure. But it's a potential point of weakness. I have to admit, it is just a gut feel that it's a potential point of weakness, because my Churchill has exactly that type of fixing. I've been using that for 20 odd years and it's perfectly fine. However, I like the other Conway Stewart clips that are one section of metal that is clipped onto the cap, like these two. But that's personal choice. I still think these clips look very elegant and very suitable. So the pen is pretty much, from the feel of it, parallel-sided cap and parallel-sided barrel until you get to about there, and there's a very slight tapering towards the back end. As I said, 2 gold rings, 1 fat gold ring which has assay marks. Pen itself, nice black section which ties up with the end piece. Now, I did say in my last video I don't really like having different colours compared to the rest of the pen. That doesn't hold true with this. This looks and feels like a really elegant Edwardian type of pen. It looks perfectly suitable. In fact, when I was writing up my notes, here they are, I did say to myself, ooh, elegant, stylish 1920s feel. And when I looked on the website, these were first made in 1924. So, not a bad guess, eh? Nib is one of these gorgeous Conway Stewart style nibs, which is an absolute joy to write with. These new nibs that Conway Stewart are having made now are just fantastic. Inside, perfectly standard cartridge converter. You can, of course, take off the cartridge converter, I'm not going to bother right now, and replace it with an international ink cartridge of your choice. How do you fill a cartridge converter? I hear someone muttering at the back there. This is how you fill a cartridge converter. You get a special anti-slip sheet of plastic first, so that your ink bottle doesn't slide off your desk, as happened only too recently. You get a bottle of ink. You stick the nib into the ink, comme ça. You turn the knob, and as you can see, the piston comes up, and with it, it brings a load of ink. And then I hunt for a bit of blotting paper that will clean the end of my pen. Here we are. I like this bit of blotting paper because it's got such interesting colours on it. No idea what they are, but you know, what the hell. It looks nice. So, we now have a nicely filled cartridge converter. And for those who are interested, and I know that some of you are, this is Rohrer und Klingner Alt Bordeaux, which is, to my mind, one of the very best red inks you can get your hands on. So, how does this pen write? I've mentioned you can post it, but I don't post because I don't like to. And it writes just beautifully. So, does it give line variation? Very fine, very, very light. As you get to put a bit more pressure, it does show nice line variation. So, I should just say, some people have asked, would I like to do a video on handwriting? Well, I feel reluctant because my handwriting is pretty atrocious, but it has to be said that one of the big advantages of taking up writing with a fountain pen is the fact that it does make even the worst writing look an awful lot better. I apologise for the bonging. My phone apparently has received some messages. So, what else can I comment on? I think that has covered every aspect. There will be more down below in terms of the size of the pen, size, weight, etc. I would just say, this is a very light pen. It is 18 grams in total with the cap. So it's very slightly heavier than my Conway Stewart 58, but it is nothing like the massive weight of my Dartmoor Michael Jecks pen. It is very light, but it has to be said that it suits a number of different writing styles, so I can hold it quite far back on the barrel. I can hold it very close to the front. And the thing is that the more variation you've got in how you hold a pen, the less tiring it's going to be to use, I find. Personal thing. But I think that the more you can change your grip on the pen, the easier it's going to be to use, therefore the less effort it will be. As I say, I have been asked to do some videos on handwriting. I will be considering doing some of them. I've also got to do some videos on clutch pencils. That was supposed to come out today, but unfortunately, because this pen arrived, I was distracted from clutch pencils. And that's about it for now. One very appealing 1920s style, really gorgeous pen. Thanks a lot to Conway Stewart for letting me borrow this. I'm afraid I'm going to finish off this filling of ink before it gets sent back, because I'm really enjoying using this. And there you have it. One delightful little garnet red Duro. Very pleasant pen, lovely to write with. I'm very impressed. There's going to be more Conway Stewarts coming along shortly. Some really interesting Churchill variants and other things. And if you'd like to go down to the bottom, you can hit the Patreon link, you can go to PayPal, you can support this channel in so many different ways, and I'm sure you'd love to do so. If, on the other hand, you only want to do something that doesn't cost you anything, you can like it and share it and tell all your friends about it and do all those good things and subscribe and hit the bell button and you know the stuff. It's YouTube, for goodness sake. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you in a week's time. Cheers. Back to me cup of tea now. Ooh, it's lovely.